Yeah, hello there and welcome to Podcasters Mastery Starters course. Yes, this is a special course created for special people, the ones that are showing an interest in becoming a podcaster. Now, what I'm going to do within the content in this course is show you what I think is the simplest ways to get you going, okay? There are going to be more advanced tutorials available, but in this course, I think it's important to show you the benefits of what podcasting can bring to you, obviously, and how to get those benefits as easily as possible. So the course is going to be constructed in a sequence of events. That sequence of events will take you from setting up your podcast equipment all the way through to recording your first episode, all the way through to actually getting it out into the world so that people can hear it. Now, before that, I suppose I need to tell you a bit about myself. I'm actually the host of Join Up Dots. My name is David Ralph, and I am not only the host of Join Up Dots, which is a global hit podcast. It's been running, at the time of recording this video, just about 4 years. We've done about 1,000 plus shows. It's a global hit podcast in 162, 182 countries, and we've been listened to over 5 million times. Now, through that process of actually growing my show, I have learned absolute gold, I suppose you could say, on how to do things as simply as possible. And that's what I'm going to bring into you. Now, it's not just a sort of idiot's guide, this. I want to show you the real quality stuff that other podcasters aren't using, but through my trials and tribulations on growing my show, I've realized is an absolute winner. So it's not like I'm just throwing this content out to you. I want you to deliver a podcast to the world by the content that I'm going to give you here. Okay, so what does a podcast give you? Well, first of all, it gives you the greatest exposure to your business you can possibly have. I've built my whole business around my podcast. The podcast was the starting point, and I've had to grow everything around it. And since then, I have got courses, I've got coaching, I've got books, I've got people asking me to speak across the world. It's an absolute rocket ship, I suppose you could say, of brand exposure, getting your knowledge, getting your personality, getting your experience into the ears of people that want that, so that they can come back to your website, check out your work, either hire you, buy your products or whatever. Away from that, obviously, it's very lucrative if you do it well. And that all comes about gaining an audience. The more audience you get, the more ways you can monetize. And that could be through sponsorship. That could be through selling your own products. There's a myriad of different ways that you can monetize a podcast once you actually get an audience. So it's really exciting times. And more people are seeking out podcasts. The actual stats are 63% of all listeners actually buy something from that podcast. So you can see, by getting your voice into their ears, getting them to trust you, getting them to know that you are a decent individual, that's a big part of building a business. That will make them want to check you out. But you've already gone past that stage of, hang on, am I going to be ripped off? They're already trusting you, liking you, and finding you a great person to want to work with. And then it's just a couple of simple steps after that you can take those interested listeners and convert them into customers. So podcasting is brilliant. Podcasting is amazing. Podcasting has changed my life, and I want it to change your life too. And we're going to start in the sequence. Don't skip any bits, because they all do build and they're all vitally important. But let's start with the very first thing, module 1.